It's been said that being lonely is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. If that's the truth, then I have lung cancer. Whatever your views may be on the human evolution, we used to live in tribes and we used to stick together. Even with our tiny caveman brains, we knew that by working together, we were stronger than working apart, which is why we hunted in groups and we did everything in groups. The rise of loneliness with data can be seen to be directly correlated to the existence of social media. It's like social media was the canon event to make us lonely. I only got my first phone at the age of 12 and I still got addicted. Basically meaning that everyone after the year 2010, they're basically fucked. We're at a point now that a lot of teenagers, even adults, are watching YouTube and watching TV while eating. Why is it you think that a lot of teenagers watch mukbangs nowadays? It's not because they're entertaining, it's not because they're funny, it's because they don't want to feel alone when eating, even though they are. That's just sad, honestly. The only reason I'm really even going to college besides being forced is because it's the only way to really socialize right now. I wouldn't know where else to find other people of my age to talk to, you know, even though those people at college are mentally retarded and probably like only half of a brain. It's still better than nobody, right? A lot of people also seem to tie themselves to introversion. You're not introverted because introversion is a mental disorder. No studies show that introversion saps your energy away and makes you more tired after a social interaction. The type of introversion you're born with is a mental disorder. So by saying you're introverted like some kind of personality trait, like a star sign, you're basically identifying yourself with a sickness, which is never good because your identity is a very important thing. Probably the most important video to date, I have still uploaded to date, is the video about identity. Card right here. And it's just very ironic that social media, to tie us together, has actually made us grow more apart. Now, social media has solved some problems and you probably have a few connections online, but they're not comparable, not even close to connections in the real world and interactions in the real world. They just can't compare. And thus we're growing more and more lonely, and especially men are getting more and more invested in these streamers and VTubers to have some kind of connection with someone, to have some kind of interaction with somebody. And we're going down a road that's not good for us. And that's not even talking about the dating market itself and relationships that are getting more and more, or even less monogamous. So even in terms of relationships, if you actually manage to get a girlfriend somehow, through social media or not through social media, and if it is through social media, it's probably not that good of a relationship. It's still not good enough because nowadays we just lack any sort of confidence in social skills in general. It's been shown in studies that Gen Z, once again, directly correlating to the existence of social media, Gen Z is the loneliest generation. And I really fear for future generations because of this, because I grew up playing outside. I grew up just playing with Legos and stuff. Well, like I said, I got my very first phone at the age of 12, and I still got addicted. So every generation after mine, they're just completely fucked. It's that simple. So we are the loneliest generation. We need to seek as much social contact as possible because I don't want to be this old doom and gloom. I want to take responsibility, and it's also a bit of your responsibility to actually find the social connections outside. And I've made a few videos about this already, so watch those if you're interested. But we are by far, when compared to our parents and our grandparents, especially great-grandparents, we are by far the loneliest generation. And the thing that made us so lonely carries the name of social media. How ironic. Being weak is nothing to be ashamed of. Staying weak is.